Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm coming at you with a brand new supernatural video. This time of the top 10 most terrifying demons I sure as hell wouldn't want to meet. But first, if you've been liking my content, maybe think about becoming a patron or subscribing to my channel. There are links in the description below. Now on to the good stuff. Supernatural. It's one of the longest running shows in television history. It means so much to so many people. It's created a community, a family, and now it's coming to an end. Over the years, it's had so many villains, one of the most consistent being the constant threat of demons. So let's take a look at the top 10 most terrifying demons that could really destroy your life or the entire world. Demons are malevolent spiritual entities that have been created from human souls. They've literally been tortured in hell until no humanity is left. They do require a human body as a vessel to possess in order to be a real threat to us, but there are a few exceptions. And unlike angels, they don't actually need permission to take possession of your body. If they like it, they take it. So starting at number 10, we have the Cambion, which is actually one of the few demons that is an exception to the rules. The Supernatural writers may have forgot about Jesse Turner, but believe me, the Supernatural fandom as a whole never has. This demon is really half human, half demon, born of a human virgin possessed by a demon. He is the Antichrist. He is the direct opposite of a Nephilim, which is a human and angel hybrid. Introduced in season 5, Jesse isn't inherently evil, but his powers and abilities, if used improperly, are absolutely terrifying and devastating to the world. He can make almost anything happen just by thinking about it. If he believes that a toy is a very dangerous weapon, that's exactly what it becomes. And that's exactly what he does, which incidentally has him terrifying and terrorizing an entire town. At this moment, he's alive, as far as we know. He's afraid of becoming a weapon for Lucifer, or for hell, and it's thanks to Sam who confessed his own fears and told Jesse not to make the same mistakes that he has that really allowed Jesse to let go and run. But imagine if the boys hadn't found him. Imagine if hell had actually gotten their hands on him to use him as a weapon. Just think about the chaos and the destruction that he would have caused. At number 9, and I'm definitely going to butcher this, the Acheri. In Indian mythology, it's not a demon, it's a ghost or a spirit, and it comes down from the mountains to bring sickness, usually to children. The only way to ward one off is to wear a red ribbon around your neck. But in Supernatural, they are a demon, and they can manifest without a human host, making them another one of those few exceptions to the rule. And they're almost forgotten, since we haven't actually seen them again since the end of season 2. But they do have the usual weaknesses that other demons do, like salt or iron. And they can also be controlled by the special children that the yellow-eyed demon created. Like Sam or Ava. They are extremely powerful and super creepy to look at since they usually take the form of a child. At number 8, we have Crowley. Crowley started out as a crossroads demon. He made deals with humans for whatever they wished in exchange for their souls. The terms were whatever their hearts desired, with a 10-year limit. There are a few notable exceptions, like Dean or John. But it always ends the same. Your soul is dragged to hell by hellhounds. And eventually the person becomes a demon themselves after years of torture on the rack. But Crowley had ambition. He eventually worked his way up through the ranks and became the king of hell. Not bad for a crossroads demon. He's a fan favorite, and he eventually became one of the main cast, until his untimely on-screen suicide. But as the king of hell, he was one mean son of a bitch, cunning and devious. He serves as the main antagonist for years, killing and maiming his way through the seasons, at least until Sam Winchester injected him with purified human blood, which made him a little softer, a little more human. But Crowley is still not someone you would ever want to meet. He would kill and cut down anyone who got in his way, human or demon alike. Number 7, the Deva. This is another demon from early on in the show, all but forgotten. The Deva comes from Zoroastrian traditions and mythology, and it's not necessarily a demon, it's just a supernatural entity with disagreeable characteristics. But in Supernatural, it's an ancient demon. Dean likens them to demonic pit bulls, which I think of more as hellhounds than anything. The Deva is only seen as a shadow. You can't see it physically, but it's there, and it literally rips people apart. They also don't need a human host, and are summoned to do other people's bidding, mostly other demons. Other than using light to drive them back, there doesn't actually seem to be a way to stop them. But you can sever the tie between them and their summoner, and hope that instead it doesn't go after you, but the person controlling it. At number 6 we have Lilith, the first demon ever created by Lucifer. In Jewish mythology, she is the first woman. She was born at the same time as Adam and not created from him. And since she refused to be subservient to him, she pretty much up and left him. But in Supernatural, she's a demon. The first demon. She's even older than the princes of hell, and she's one of the few demons that has white eyes. While she does hold the highest rank in hell, she's not as powerful as the princes or the knights. And she's resistant to most demonic weaknesses, and can hold her own against an ordinary angel. Even other demons are terrified of her because of her cruel nature. She leads the demons in season 4 and 5 to release Lucifer from his cage. And along the way, she maims, kills, and tortures humans just for fun. I mean, as a vacation, she possessed a little girl just to toy and torture her family. Number 5, Cain, the father of murder. Cain is from Abrahamic religions, and he is the elder brother of the famous Cain and Abel. But he ended up murdering his younger brother out of jealousy and greed. Cain claims to have killed his brother to protect him. He saw Lucifer trying to sway Abel, so he offered his soul in exchange for his brother's life and soul. But as such, he ended up killing his brother and received the mark of Cain. Now he's a murderous demon. Cain led the forces of hell. He created the Knights of Hell, who are the most powerful demons. He murdered everything in his path. He was the scourge of the earth. He murdered humans, demons, monsters, and angels alike. As Crowley said, he was the best at being the worst. But then he disappeared. He fell in love, learned to resist the mark of Cain, and actually lived peacefully. But then he gave in to the urge again, and the terror began anew. At number 4, we have old Yellow Eyes himself, Azazel. Azazel is one of the princes of hell. He was created to be the general of Lucifer's armies, and was one of the first 4 created after Lilith. He's older than the Knights of Hell, but not as powerful. Still, he's resistant to most of the usual ways to kill a demon, or even banish it. The only known way at the time to kill him was to use the colt. He was the one to taint Sam with demon's blood, the first step in bringing about the entire apocalypse, and to prep Lucifer's vessel. He murdered Sam and Dean's mother, which started their father on his entire righteous quest to kill him. I mean, he literally ruined their lives. Not to mention, he's constantly interfering in their lives and sending his own children after them just to torture them. His sole purpose for existing is to serve Lucifer. At number 3, Dean Winchester. For those of you not familiar with the show, you're probably going, wait, what? But yeah, for a short period of time, Dean was a demon. He took on the mark of Cain in order to kill a knight of hell. But in the process, he slowly began the transformation into a demon himself. More specifically, a knight of hell, which means he had all the same abilities and bloodlust as Cain. He's immune to exorcism, but that's more the fact that he's not actually possessing a body, since it's already his own body. And then there's the fact that he's immortal. The only way he could have been killed is if somebody else possessed the mark of Cain and killed him. Honestly, there was nothing that Dean wouldn't have done as a demon. I mean, he even went after his own brother. Other demons were absolutely terrified of him because he didn't follow the rules. He served nobody. Dean was one of the most powerful and terrifying demons to have ever walked the earth. And the only reason he was ever stopped is because Sam went through the painful process of purifying him. The same process he went through with Crowley, only this time he actually completed it. At number 2, we have Alistair, and if you thought Demon Dean was bad, well, this is the guy he learned everything he knew from, Hell's Grand Torturer. He's one of the few wide-eyed demons. And even Dean, as a human, was absolutely terrified of him. And the Winchesters aren't really afraid of a lot other than losing each other. So for one of them to be terrified of you, you've got to be one mean son of a bitch. He's strong enough to take on an angel, and he kills many. He is directly responsible for the apocalypse. He was the one to torture Dean in hell until he broke, which was the first seal on Lucifer's cage. That's his literal purpose. To torture, to cause pain. And nothing else. It brings him joy. At number 1, we have Abaddon, the last knight of hell, and the wannabe queen. She's one of the first demons, and was handpicked by Cain and trained. She might be younger than the princes of hell, but she's far more powerful. She's nearly invulnerable, and immune to demon defenses. I mean, she was literally chopped to pieces, and still kicking. She could only be killed by the first blade, which you had to have the mark of Cain to wield. And we all know how that turned out for Dean. She was the big bad. Thank God Dean shanked her before she could take over hell. Because under her, the entire world would have become hell. So that's it. Do you agree with my top picks? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Maybe check out my top 10 most terrifying monsters and their origins. But for now, cheers!